Master League, and also all the new features for FIFA 20 career mode, as well as all the stuff that's actually existing in each game mode, and we're going to see which one is better, career mode or Master League. If you're going to enjoy the video, slap a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Let me know down in the comment section which you prefer, just generally speaking, and which you think is the most or best new features for this year. But first of all, for those that don't know, we'll get into the new features. I think I've done a video on Pro Evo's new features and FIFA's new features, but regardless, I'll go through them pretty quickly so you've got an idea of what's coming if you are actually genuinely basing your decision off this video, which, to be honest with you, solely, I would not recommend. I'm not the most reliable source in history, but I hope you'll at least appreciate my opinion as someone who's played both and has seen the new features for both. Now, straight off the bat, Pro Evo this year doesn't have as many new features from what I can tell. From their original press release they put on their website as to what's coming new on Master League, there are less features, there are less bullet points, if you like, that have been added for this game than FIFA 20. That's not necessarily a bad thing. If you think Master League back in the day or for 2019 was better anyway, then that might be fine. But just generally speaking, I believe EA have done more with their game mode this year. So Pro Evolution Soccer, you can now have legends as manager. The likes of Diego Maradona, Johan Cruyff, and Zico. You can choose them to be your manager and to coach the rest of the squad. Alternatively, you can also create your own manager. That's something I'll get onto in a moment with FIFA, but that's been something you could do since time began, really, on Pro Evolution Soccer. As well as that, they've introduced interaction with players and quite a few different cutscenes in a lot of different settings. I'll put some screenshots in the background. But yeah, as I sort of alluded to, you can now respond to players, you can have conversations with them, you get cutscenes in the changing rooms, and when you're in the training ground, when you're negotiating for players and all that sort of stuff. It's quite well-rounded. It's not just like in FIFA career mode where you get cutscenes when you're actually buying a player or negotiating with an agent. The story is then also determined by what you do and what you say in these conversations and interactions. So, and on top of that, Pes have also announced there's going to be more realistic transfers coming to the game in the form of a new transfer algorithm. This is one thing that I always thought very negatively about when it comes to Pro Evo personally, is the transfers were so unbelievably unrealistic. Sorry, like, for a start, you'd have players moving around far too much. Like, players were leaving their club every 2 years, and it's like, just calm down, all right? Just settle down. And then alternatively, you'd get things like Mohamed Salah joining Manchester United. It doesn't make any sense. That wouldn't happen in FIFA. It certainly would not happen in real life. So why is it happening on Pro Evolution Soccer? Supposedly, they have fixed that. They've changed the algorithm. They made it more realistic. With FIFA, the new features for career mode include customizable managers, which is brilliant, but if you're comparing it to PES, that's something that Pro Evo has had since, you know, for quite some time. Seemingly, there's similar levels of customization available. Dynamic player potential is a big one. It only really coincides with players in your team, as I explained in a separate FIFA news video that went up on our channel last week. Now, this is really good for FIFA career mode. To be honest with you, there's always needed to be a situation where happiness, form, performances would actually determine how a player grows rather than just a fixed potential. But as much as it's a really good thing for FIFA career mode, it's kind of always been a thing in Pro Evo. There's not really set and fixed potentials in Pro Evolution Soccer Master League. So as much as it's really big for FIFA career mode, yet again, it's another feature that was already in PES and they're kind of behind. And with that, you know, Pro Evo have probably refined it a lot better than FIFA, especially with EA, who do have a tendency to bring in something new for a game cycle or a game mode, and then it's not actually as balanced, or it doesn't really work as it should do. Hopefully the dynamic, you know, potential system and the morale system that I'm going to get onto in a second do work properly. I did mention the morale system, and again, this is where player happiness determines a player's overall. This is something that isn't really featured in Pro Evolution Soccer. There are other ways to have dynamic overalls, but it's not really to do with morale. So this is a pretty decent step in the right direction for EA. We've then got press conferences too, which have been added. Again, like what I said with PES, it's kind of to do with, it's not really a storyline, it's actually what you do determines the path of your career. In the same instance, FIFA have also announced that you'll be able to have player interaction in career mode, much like Pro Evo announcing you'll be able to have it in Master League for this year. So both of the companies, both of the games announcing the same feature in the same year, which is pretty interesting. Again, those interactions will then determine how happy a player is, what their performances are out on the pitch, which is really nice. Now, in terms of things that are better on Master League than FIFA, for a start, we've